Sometimes people discover that a camper van is just too small to travel in the comfort that they desire. Today, we're going to talk with two owners, Bob and Deb, that moved from mainstream built RVs, the last one being a Travado. Then they bought an Embassy RV Dolphin transit based camper van, and now they are in a Cape Cod, also built by Embassy RV. Why Embassy after 6 RVs prior?
We had a Travado, and we were running around in Ohio, and just the quality of what we was doing, we was getting a little fed up with it. Heard an advertisement probably from you about Embassy.
Yes.
So we called Wanda, and we got in about a week later to see Terry.
And took the tour. Anyone who takes the tour with Terry and sees how these are built from start to finish, I will bet you will put down money on it because it's not made with contact paper and plywood. So that's why we love our Embassy. It's not disposable.
What? You haven't heard about the Cape Cod from Embassy RV? Handcrafted in Elkhart, Indiana? Very differently than most other products built in Elkhart, Indiana. We're going to share a bunch on this video today from our YouTube live we did with Bob and Deb, owners of the Cape Cod, and Terry Minix, VP at Embassy RV. What they discovered is they just wanted more space inside, storage outside. They wanted a few more creature comforts, and the bigger size was something they were really looking forward to. We're going to cover a lot of topics in this video. We're going to cover storage, lithium, bathroom, shower, lighting, driving differences, toilets, beds, air conditioning, furnace, and the Dolphin Demo SS that I had for a month. And we can explain a little bit of that to you as well. So don't miss a single minute of this video as we cover all that and more with Bob, Deb, and Terry. My name is Scott Watson. Thank you for watching this video on my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about van life. In this case, Cape Cod life. Let's go. Let me show this picture. This is great. We talk about outdoor. We talk about outdoor storage. What are we looking at here?
It's a drawer that pulls out of the. You can crawl in this thing. There's so much storage underneath here. Bob.
It's a slide out tray that
I
we
could kick him
put
out.
our Blackstone on.
He could have a sleeping bag in there.
But there's a slide out tray that we put a Blackstone on, and we can pull it out and cook outside.
And this is your portable induction cooktop. So there's not one built into the countertop, which I'm not a giant fan of because it takes up a lot of space. And this is a good example of using the induction cooktop outside.
I think we have our Blackstone on it now, don't we?
Yeah, we have the Blackstone on it now. This is the induction cooktop. This is earlier on. Now we pulled the Blackstone out. I had an old Blackstone and we put it out there. But you're right. This is the induction cooktop. And there's a plug-in right there for it. So it's great.
Well, Bob, I think what you would be able to put into this, we have the same battery bank in the Dolphin as we do now. Yours might have been a little less because it was earlier. It was the 630 Lithionics probably.
Right.
But now we have, in the vans, we have the 920 amp hour Master Volt system. And now on the Cape Cod, it's the same thing. But in the Cape Cod, apples to apples, because of the thermodynamics, running similar air conditioners, you're going to get a lot more time from that just based on the efficiencies.
Not with the air conditioner on all the time if it's really hot, but without the air conditioner, we can get 5, 6, 7 days and just run the air conditioner intermittent. It's very nice to flip the fan on and just crack the windows and let it, and the fan goes in and out. It's a max fan something. It goes in and out, and we love it.
It's so insulated. Because we do stoop to staying at a Cracker Barrel when we're on the road and we just want to get somewhere. Well, do you know that they put those Cracker Barrel parking places for RVs right next to where the freeway goes on and off, and the semis and the Jake brakes? And I don't know how you're supposed to sleep in that unless you have an embassy, because we can close it up and it doesn't bother us.
Yeah, it really cuts the noise down. Terry's done a really great job with insulation.
It's an amazing test to try.
Yeah, yeah. And the heat and cool just stays in so well. It's great. It's great.
You're talking about the thermal dynamics, and this is a good example. Sunlight. If you had this in your Dolphin van, it's better than a lot of them, insulation wise, what have you. But again, the thermal dynamics to your talk is just vastly different.
Scott, I do want to say real quick, when you asked Deb a question earlier, what is your number one feature of the Cape Cod? She said the shower. Most people wouldn't say that about an RV. So I think that's very interesting that we concentrated so much on that space. We started with that space. And
thank you.
It paid off tremendously. And you guys were part of that meeting we had with Scott and everybody to create what was important to you. And we did really, really concentrate on let's make sure the shower is incredible. And
it's a big safety issue for me, because I went into a shower at a campground one time and there was a man in there and he had his little girls and his wife, and they kind of took over I didn't feel like showering in there after that. I didn't know who he was. So I love having my own shower, and ours has the toilet that goes in the wall. So you have all the space to shower in.
Yeah.
And we don't use a shower curtain. So I don't know. It's just so much easier to carry everything and not have to worry about packing everything into a bag and then making sure I don't leave my shampoo or my soap, or somebody before me always leaves something in there.
And some of them are pretty gross, right? Q-tips and gross.
Oh, I know. It's
Band-Aids.
so exciting when you find a clean one. So it's like, no, we've got to be able to use our own shower.
How about the sink in the bathroom, and the whole space is just so incredible, right?
I thought that was crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, it's so nice to be able to spit into something that's not your kitchen sink.
For the trash can.
I said we're spoiled.
I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little while. So be here as the night starts falling. Let my fingers walk over your head. We got nothing to be scared.
Bob, we were chatting. What was kind of a big surprise that you initially didn't really care for, but now it's one of your favorite things? It's on the ceiling, maybe.
It's on the ceiling, the accent lights, and there's accent lights here.
It's kind of like
they're really nice.
They look like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The accent lights give you enough light that it's not blasting on you, but you can see to get around. And I really like that. I really like that. And Terry put some really nice night lights in here also
That's cool.
you can leave in all night long. You can leave them on and go to the bathroom 4 or 5 or 6 times like I do.
So, Deb, you're the driver. Cool.
Yes.
You had a Transit before, van, and now you have a Transit Cutaway Cape Cod. What's the driving difference? Is there much difference? Can you really feel?
I was really concerned about it, and I'm a very cautious driver. So, and I haven't put a scratch on it yet. We've had it about 6 months now.
Don't say
I haven't put a scratch
that.
on
I know
it.
you haven't.
You put a scratch on the last one. So, I do all the driving now. And it's a little bigger going around corners. I mean, I do have to think it through, and I let people get in front of me. I leave lots of room.
What about parking? You said it's a little bigger, so you just park further away and take 2 spots. Is
Well, I tend to look for parking places that, there's 2 places, one in front of another so that I can kind of juggle
Tandem.
through there. And that way I always have to think about how I'm going to get out. I don't want to back out. I don't like to back this thing up. So I pretty much make sure that I can go straight.
Bob and Deb, what do you miss, if anything, about the smaller B van compared to the B plus? Good question.
I honestly, I hated to see Beep Beep leave. Our Dolphin,
We had some great experiences
but
in it.
I haven't missed anything. I don't miss it.
We have the
at all.
same fit and finish and materials in
Yeah.
this. So as long as you're getting, we're just paying for more space. And the gas mileage is more in this than it was before too. So
We get less gas mileage in
yeah,
this.
we did.
And
But-
that hurts, but that's okay.
But we love just about everything on this.
I guess
I'm
gas
still-
mileage is the one thing that I miss.
I think Bob and Deb have the separate tiny toilet, and
Yes,
we
we do.
put the separate tiny toilet in our new
We did.
demo Cape Cod that I'll be driving down to Florida with my wife. And then the one Scott's driving, the ProMaster, that's the standard length, we also put the separate tiny toilet in it, even though Scott really wanted to try the Labio. I thought, well, let's go ahead and we got to learn this stuff. So I threw the separate in all those. So yes.
Bob and Deb, can you talk about the comfort in the beds in the Dolphin and the Cape Cod? Do you like one versus the other? That's a good question, because you have 2 twin beds in back that are totally separate beds with a walkway between, right?
No, for us, there's no comparison.
It's
I
night and day.
having my bed made up all the time. They're always there. They're very comfortable. They're a little bit wider than we had in the van, aren't they?
These are 30 inches wide, and in the van they're 22 inches wide.
24, I believe.
24, okay, 24. It's just a big difference. People have pulled them out, put foam in to make them a little bit bigger in the van itself, but Deb does not like to have the van and leave them made up. Some people do, and that's fine, but she didn't like that. So she loves this because they're back to the back. We have a bedroom back in the back.
And we actually keep the table made up back there too. So we actually eat a lot of our meals and sitting on our beds because we've got 3 windows back there. So that's the best view. I think my food tastes better back there.
John's got a question here. It says, Terry, can you put the split AC system in the B plus Cape Cod?
There's really no reason to. The split was designed to give the van RV, the BRV, stealth. That's why it was created. We created a new one. It's an incredible system for the van when you need to be stealth. But when you truly, truly want to have an air conditioner that does everything you want it to do, the one we're using, 110 volt with a heat pump, is an incredible air conditioner that's super efficient and gives you as much time on the battery as we can give you, because it all is about how long is the compressor on. The split system is a 12 volt air conditioner that the compressor has to run more often to keep you cool inside than what this roof air conditioner can do for you. So, that gives you a longer run time. And the other part of what Bob and Deb talked about, and I experienced it in our trip to California, we'll see it again. I was in the middle of a parking lot, 85 degrees in Lake Tahoe in the sun. There's no trees, obviously, there. And I had the roof vent on probably a third of the speed, with windows cracked open on the insulated glass windows. And it was like you had air conditioning on inside. Even in the middle of the day, I did not have to run the air conditioner because it wasn't affecting the inside of the vehicle. So air conditioning in the Cape Cod isn't quite the same animal that it is in a B van, that you don't have a 6-inch thick roof. You can't do that, or you'd have to duck the whole time you're inside of it. So it just changes the game.
And is the ducted AC pretty cool? Bob and Deb?
I would not go back to the stealth air conditioner, to tell you the truth. This one is just so much quieter and nicer.
We don't need an HOA to.
Yeah, we don't need an HOA, and that's the big thing for it. If you have an HOA and you need it, it's a great air conditioner. And Terry's done a couple improvements to even help it out. But I like the rooftop air a lot.
Yeah, just the ducting, right? When I was in that, it's just really nice, right?
Yeah,
it's not blowing at you; it's kind of all around you. It's just really residential.
Right.
Technically, the Cape Cod is a roof air conditioner that's ducted through our thick ceiling. So your bathroom has air conditioning and heat in it from the heat pump air conditioner,
it does,
which is incredible. The bedroom has ducts in it. So technically, it's a roof air conditioner, but it's even air conditioning and heat throughout the coach. I mean, you don't really have a hot spot.
What heater and AC system does the Cape Cod have, Terry?
The air conditioner is the Dreha. We offer that in the B vans as well. That one is ducted because we built it into our roof of the Cape Cod, but it's the same air conditioner that the van can have. I believe that's our standard now, and the split system's an option for the folks that need to be stealth for HOAs. The heating system is still the Elwell system. It is a little bit different from the van. The van is a hydronic system with one external heater right under the kitchen sink area. The Cape Cod has two zones. The living room's a zone and the bedroom's a zone on the heating system. So you could want it a little cooler at night in the bedroom, a little warmer in the living room. You get to do that with that system. And then its third zone has some hydronic lines running around the gray tank and the fresh tank that are both insulated and outside the vehicle underneath. So it's a little different from the van system.
That's a good question from Girls Rock. I know you mentioned the Cape Cod was pretty soundproof. How does it compare to the Dolphin van?
More soundproof.
More night and day. It's a lot more sound. You have a lot more. What is it? 6 inches here, Terry? The insulation.
Yeah.
And there you
and
have.
Part of it is the insulated glass windows. Even though we have a lot of them in the Cape Cod, you can't underestimate what that does both for cooling and heating and sound. Now, Sherry mentioned to me one time when she first got her Dolphin S ProMaster that I believe it was Sherry that said she wanted to see if her movie was affecting anyone outside, and they opened up the door and saw they were by a highway and didn't hear it. So the vans are still pretty soundproof as well. You know, I can have production going out here and sit in one of these and have a live YouTube and you don't hear production. But the B plus the Cape Cod is actually even better, which is pretty incredible.
100%. And especially when you like close that front door, it's like a bank vault door. And when I was doing my recording there was the stand-on mowers right outside there. And I didn't even know he was there until he opened up the door. I was like, what? That's insane. Pretty crazy. Emmanuel's got a question here. Maybe for Terry. Does the Cape Cod come in the Sprinter chassis?
No, the Sprinter, even though it has a little more GVWR than the Transit in one of its models, it's a narrower chassis. The diesel engine vehicle these days with all the emission standards and things just isn't, quite as versatile as the gas engine right now, I guess is the easiest way to put that. You're limited on how long you can idle a diesel now. If we idle a Sprinter van over 20 minutes, it sets off a code and it takes a dealer to clear that code. And we did it just running an alternator on one of the customer's units, testing the alternator for 22 minutes. It costs us $250 to have our mobile Sprinter dealer come here and clear the code for us. So there's, it isn't Sprinter's fault. There's just emission standards in America that everyone has to follow, and it makes it a little more tough. You're going to be plugging in cord much more on a Sprinter than you are on a gas engine vehicle right now, whether it's a ProMaster transit van or so forth. So we just sell a lot more ProMasters and transit vans than Sprinters because of the diesel issue. Nothing to do against Mercedes and the Sprinter van. It's still a great vehicle.
And if you're looking for a really well-built camper van or a B plus like the Cape Cod. What makes Embassy really special, in addition to an amazing team and this family of customers that we've built together over these 6 years, there's no wood in an Embassy RV. There's no propane in an Embassy RV. There is no black tank in an Embassy RV. There is no solar in an Embassy RV. There is no awning in an Embassy RV. They're pretty stealthy on the outside. The vans, which means they're HOA friendly, and you buy factory direct. You're not working with an RV dealer, so there's no middleman markup, and you get to work directly with the factory and Terry Minix and the entire team there. If you're looking for a rig and you're looking for a short list of quality built recreational vehicles, please look up Embassy RV and tell them Scott from Go Small, Live Large sent you. They'll take real good care of you.
Are there many options that can be added on, or is the base model pretty well fitted out on the Cape Cod or the Dolphin for that matter?
I think they're totally fitted out.
Yeah, there's not normally
Not much.
No, we have taken our RVs before and gutted them.
Yeah.
So, and this one, I'm having trouble finding anything to fix. I did get a trash can that I could fit in that space, which is totally exciting, but that's not much.
The slide out for the stove. That's one of the options.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Terry? Really?
You're going to see a couple
All
things when I come
included.
to Florida that I think Bob and Deb are going to be really excited about. We'll show that when we get to Florida, Scott. The
Yes.
Cape Cod will have a couple things on it that might be a little bit new for options. But technically, when Bob and Deb and Scott and all of us were in those meetings where everybody held up 5 stars and $5 if it was, we really tried to load up the Cape Cod to not have a ton of options, to be a very, very full vehicle. I mean, it's got the things you needed.
Yeah.
Do I need to start saving to buy another Cape Cod, Terry?
No.
No. Well, see, that's the beauty of it too. A lot of vans, we actually do more upgrades in our service department than we do service, because we are making upgrades all the time and changing things. And instead of buying a new vehicle, folks will come in and have some of the latest and greatest put into their van because they still look brand new 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. It's easier just to upgrade than to worry about buying a new one.
Yeah.
So Greg wants to know, Scott, which Dolphin will you be living in? So it's ProMaster base, the shorter version, right, Terry? And
yes, it's standard instead of the extended.
And that's the SS. Do I have that right?
SS model, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Super excited. With a composting toilet. My first time ever. I'm not sure what to think.
Yeah. Are you getting you?
And Bob and Deb, I have to say, were one of the inspirations to that, because you've had every kind of toilet through the van.
Every one of them.
Yeah, we like to.
We have a Lavios in the garage in a box, and I just sold the bags. I had some extra bags from the Lavio, and someone called me and wants me to pick them up, so I'll bring them out to them.
If you do a lot of off-roading, like we like to do, where you're not in campgrounds, you don't have dump stations easily and stuff like that. Whereas with the composting, you bag it up and put it in the trash.
It works great.
It works great.
Yeah, I'm excited to try something different. I've only known one way. Well, I tried the Lavio, and that was actually pretty cool too. So here's John saying our embassy is one of the best things that ever happened to us. Thank you, Terry. That's pretty cool.
It makes a different retirement.
Yes.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you're a little more educated on the Cape Cod and why that couple, Bob and Deb, decided to upsize their travel experience. Thanks again for watching this video. Do appreciate it. More content coming your way, so be sure and subscribe to Go Small, Live Large. Thanks for watching. Peace be with you. We'll see you soon.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night?